Hi all, I wanted to do just a really quick video to show you an example of a practical investigation. Again, this is a stage 2 example, but hopefully you'll get an idea of the sequence of what should go in each section and some of the language requirements needed for this task. First, you can see really specific title up the top here. There's Yours is going to have a deconstruction and design as well as your completion part. This first part here is the introduction. That's all of the relevant scientific background information. Make sure it's specific to your investigation. You can see that there are some references using the Harvard reference system as well. You could use your textbook as your first point of reference. As you go down, you'll then start seeing the aim of the investigation. You will see a hypothesis. The variables are listed there with the independent, dependent, and controlled. Independent is the one that you change, you test. Dependent is the one that you measure, and controlled are the ones that you try and keep the same to make it a fair test. Next are the materials and the method. The method is in past tense and it is in third person. So you won't find I did this or we did this. You'll find things like the solution was prepared. The potatoes were cut into 1 centimeters cubed. Past tense, third person. Next, safety considerations for your practical. You could do that as a table if you wish, or you could do that as a paragraph like here. Results section will be in tables using Microsoft Excel. I might do a video later on how to use Excel to make tables and graphs. This one here has a number of tables and a number of graphs, you can see if it loads properly. So they're using the XY scatter plot. You can see on the bottom, this will be a better one down here. On the bottom here, it will be your independent variable, and on the side will be your dependent variable. On the y-axis will be your dependent variable, what you measured. You'll notice that the title is very specific to the graph, and there's labels on Y and X with units as well. Next will be your discussion. Firstly, you're going to say why the results, explain the results, so why they happened. And they've used data as well, numbers from their table, to explain what is happening and why it's happening. Then later, they've also used references in there to say whether their study was consistent with other studies. Was this expected? Was the data what was expected? Why not? Then there's the systematic and the random errors. Systematic errors are in one direction. I'm not going to sing this time because it's recorded. And generally from measuring instruments. They've got a definition of systematic errors there and talked about what systematic errors may have occurred in this practical. Then you could also suggest how you could check for systematic errors. They've mentioned that systematic errors impact the accuracy. Then they've gone on to random errors and explained how random errors affect precision. And they've said what a random error is and what possible random errors have occurred in this practical. Lastly, they have a conclusion where they conclude whether their hypothesis was supported or not. And they look at if the data supported their hypothesis. And here is their references using the Harvard reference system. Author, surname, initial, year published, title, web address, date access. You don't need any fancy generators, just follow that format. It's in alphabetical order from A to Z. All right, guys, that's just a quick run through a practical investigation. Hopefully that helped you. Any questions, please send it my way. Have a good one.